Sing now Beit Hashem is Baruch Daf Ayin Aleph. Mishnah, this is going to be the last year of Masechet Pesachim. Maz Goloi Kois Shlishi Baruch HaMazayim. Third Kois, you say Berachas HaMaz. Reviya is Goyim Olav HaSahalom, Goyim Olav Berachas HaShir. And then you have to add the bracha that you say after Halal. The Gemara says if it's Nishmas or it's Halalucha. Bein HaKois Zalolu Im Ratza Lishtas Yishta. You can drink more wine between the first and second and third, but between the third and the fourth, lo yishta. That's already acher mazoynoi. He's not allowed to drink any wine between the third and the fourth case. Aim of tinach pesach, if you come in after you eat the carbon pesach, you cannot eat any more appetizer food. So the Gemara, ksiv v'froya parois b'Yisrael v'snadiv om baruch Hashem. What does it mean? The Gemara says it's not v'roshi om. The heads of the nation, the natives, Shakash Baruch Hu, Oisadam Nisam, to Oimim Shira. The Gemara learns that from this pasuk the inyan of saying howl when it happens in Nes. So it's up to the Rosh Om, the Sanhedrin, they decide, for example, by Nes Chanukah, they decided that it should be kaveh to say howl. If Roya Prois means when it's Hashem brings the pays the enemies with the Rosh Paroi Soyev. He wipes out the enemies. Then Besnadiv Om, the Om means that the Sanhedrin is decided as Baruch Hashem, to bless Hashem through saying how. Hasiv and Arimat asked the question, why by the Nes of Purim they didn't want to say how? Shan Yisha Chutzlaretz, because it happened in Shushan Chutzlaretz, in Omer Shira Nes of Chutzlaretz. Frag Gemara Gulus Mitzrayim. What's with the Gulus Mitzrayim? Gemara answers on that. Shan Yisha et Chizli Gavasu. There, and they did say Shira, even though Yitzhak Nes of Chutzlaretz, since it wasn't, the Gemara says until he didn't go to Eretz Yisrael, then it stayed only to Eretz Yisrael. Some say a different answer. They weren't saved from Malchus, they were still Meshubah to Malchus of Hashverosh. That's why. So according to this law, you do say Shira on Eisha Chutz La'aretz. Just by Purim you didn't say because they weren't nigal from Hashverosh. So now the Gemara goes, why can't you drink between the third and fourth? He's anyway shikkur. And for the Gemara, ma ben yain shutaycha mazn mamash yacha. Yain shutaycha mazn meshakir. Shutaycha mazn ain't meshakir. The yain shutaycha mazn is meshakir more. So that's why you shouldn't drink between the third and fourth. Ma if it koimen, sim b'shem ini by FCC means zam. You shouldn't sing. Used to, after they finished a meal, they used to sing a lot of songs. So you don't sing. Rabbi Yochanan or Rabbi Yasa, I don't know what's Rashid means. Mina Mesika means appetizer, sweets. For example, mushrooms and birds. They used to eat after the meal. They eat that as an appetizer. So the Mishnah, if a few people fell asleep, they're still allowed to continue eating the carbon pesach. Kulam, if everybody fell asleep, then you cannot continue. It's like you're eating in two separate chaburas. You're not allowed to eat and then go finish in a different chabura. Rabbi Yossi says, Im nisnamenu yechelu. They only snoozed off. They didn't fall asleep deeply. Then they can continue eating, even if everybody. A pesach after chatzois latamas yadayim. After chatzois, you know you cannot eat any more carbon pesach. But not only that, it's ulmet tam. If you touch it, you become tummy. You die. You die. It has a koich to you tummy. You die. Pigel Noisem Tamas Yadayim. Beirach Bechas Pesach, Pater Shazel. If you made a bracha on Pesach, Shivchonim, so it's one Lechel Pesach. Then you pater also the Chagiga. Shazebach le Pater Shal Pesach, the Rebbe Shmuel. However, the opposite way, if you eat Shivchonim, so it's one Lechel Chagiga, you have to make another bracha for the Pesach. In Pashtus Advar means because Pesach is more chashuv, so that can pater the Chagiga, but Chagiga cannot pater the Pesach. Kiva Oimela Zupeter, Zula Zupeter. No, doesn't go either direction. You need to make a separate bracha on the Pesach, a separate on the Chagiga. So the Gemara, Lama nations has a chadas. Mishay, why can, if everybody fell asleep, you cannot continue eating? They has a chadas. Mishim she'ovar chatzos means that since you're sitting there, you don't have a clock. You don't know. You're sitting there, you're eating. So if you're up, you know how you can figure out in your mind how much time passed by. But if you fell asleep, you have no idea. Maybe hours passed by. That's why if you fell asleep, you can't continue eating because maybe it's after chatzos. So Gemara says no. Let's say you have in the next room a different chabura, and they didn't fall asleep. So you can ask them how much. They say only went through 20 minutes. So why can't you continue eating? Have must be this time do ella mipnei has a chadas. Must be the reason is has a chadas. So that's why even if a chabura is still there, they tell you that it's not chatzos. Still, you have a problem because it has chadas. So I said a different shot that I think is mentioned in the Rashbam. The reason is because of like eating in two chaburas. The Shalmi says different reason because it has chadas. By the way, it's interesting to note here is spelled out very very common word in Yerushalmi, dilu, dalid yud lamed aleph, and here we see what it means. It means lav less tam da elo. This reason is only this. It's like a short abbreviated form. Here it's in the full form. I don't know how many other times it's written like this. It's very very uncommon. Usually it says dila, and here we see what it means. If Simon if it's a kazayis of pigul or noiser, let's say a half a zayis of pigul, half a zayis of noiser, it was starved to be metam. So the Gemara, Mayu sheyivslu b'trum. How about if a zayis of pigul touches truma? Does the truma become tummy? Kalvachayim im metamas yadayim lislu b'truma. Make kalvachayim if they have koich to be metama the yadayim, and then the yadayim goes and can be metama truma. Kalvachayim hein atzim lekoshkim. So if that directly goes and touches truma, the pigul itself, for sure it should be work. Like so if it can transfer, the pigul can transfer truma to yadayim, and then the yadayim will touch truma. Obviously, it becomes tummy. So kalvachayim that directly the pigul touches truma becomes tummy. But as we'll see, it's not. It has a perfect. Sometimes yadayim could somehow enhance the tumah. The Gemara is going to bring now interesting discussion to see maybe we can say differently. Ahin yoytze ma'at avadli. I'm asking a question. What's the difference with yoytze? Metamas yadayim and it's metamas yadayim. How about a piece of meat, a kazayis that went out chutz Yerushalayim? Is metamas yadayim or not? In time yoytze metamas yadayim, it's just like pigul. So we must say pigul v'noisa in a place to truma. We must say that pigul v'noisa are not possible truma. We'll explain soon this whole. I just want to finish saying it, then I'll explain it. In time pigul v'noisa place to truma. If you say pigul v'noisa do possible truma and yoytze the gaza of klum, then we must say that yoytze is nothing. The lukein yitmotav chitzon tzadapnimi. So I have to explain this whole Gemara here. This has to do with the sugya before in the, I think this is the 7th parak. It says there that if a piece of meat went out, its mission says the choytach, you can cut. It's half of it is outside, half of it is inside. So the mission says you can cut off the pieces, and then you throw out the piece that's outside and the pieces that he cut off that you can eat. The inside pieces you cut off, and then you slice it by the joint. But the point is what we see there, that the inside part does not become tame from the outside part. So this is a big problem. If you say yoitz is matama as a truma, why shouldn't the yoitz be matama the inside part? And how can you eat the part that you keep you slice off some inside part? It says you eat it, right? So how can you eat it? It's tummy. So one of the two, either you say that yoitz not gazer all of tuma. For some reason, yoitz doesn't have this din. Or you can say that the whole statement that he made before is not true. That pigul is also not matama. Be'emes yoitz is matama siyadayim. It's just yoitz is just like pigul and nicer. Just this fact that since it's matama yadayim, it automatically means it's matama the basar, kodesh or truma. That's not necessarily true. Could be it's only matama yadayim, but not matama food. And that can be a different mahalach. So according to that, we say that we said before is not true, and pigul and lois are not matama truma. So one of the two things we prove from this Mishnah, either that pigul and lois is not matama truma, or that yoitze legazro. That's what the Gemara says. This Gemara was already brought down before, but it's an interesting catch. The argument from the Mishnah, one of the two things that must be true. Either noiser and pigul are not matama truma, or if they do, we must say that yoitze was not b'chlal gzeir. So Gemara says that no, could be the whole thing is it's not mukhrach. Why? Because the Gemara is going to say that who says that a thing that touches from the inside man is it it's called maga beis hastarim. So the whole hanacha that you're making here is based, if you hold that something that touches from the inside is a problem. Maybe we hold it's not true. It doesn't touch. Like one says no, even according to Rabbanan it's an issue here. Because once you start cutting the roiv of it, so it's considered like it's totally separated, and then again the same problem. The outside should be mitama the inside. So you must say that we're not goizer. Or totally not goizer on anything, or piyotza, not whatever. One of the two things we said before, because even according to Rabbanan should be an issue here, because once you cut roiv, it's considered like separate. No, we can be moikim. We can say that according to Rabbanan, we're talking here that when you cut it, you keep on throwing out. So it means that you make sure that it should never be. It should never, once you cut the roiv, it should not touch the. You make sure that the part that's outside shouldn't touch. You cut it in such a way that you don't let it touch each other. Cut it in such a manner that you make sure that it shouldn't touch each other. The lu, he says, we said before, the lu means da, ella. Maybe this is only this, that what? Berch Pesach loy poter shel zevach. Shel zevach, poter shel Pesach. Shel Pesach shel zevach. He says, I think maybe the opposite should be true. Because, if anything, maybe zevach is more general nusach. So zevach should pass Pesach, but should pater the bracha of Pesach, but Pesach not. So Kiva Svar is Tzarchiin. Everyone says no, Pesach Iker was zevach tefillah. L'maisa Pesach is the main carbon that comes for that night. Pesach is Iker zevach tefillah. Baruch Hashem, Hadin Allah, we finished now the last block of Pesachim. Now it's Matzoi Pesach Tovshin Pei Hey. And Beis Hashem is Baruch. I'll go back. I didn't finish yet the beginning of Pesachim. Started, I think, from the fourth or fifth perik. So I'll go back now to the first prakim. Okay, you should have a gesundte, happy year and a happy summer.